The following segment is sponsored by Creative Society.
We're not out of the cold season yet, and according to Groundhog, Puxatawny Phil, the cold is going to stick around a little bit longer than normal this year. Sean McGraw from American Veteran is with us today to give us some helpful tips for heating our homes efficiently right now. Hi, Sean.
Good morning.
I know efficiency is everything. You've got to be checking the filters and ducts. What are we looking for when it comes to airflow?
Yeah, airflow is key to everything. We preach that constantly. So make sure your filter is cleared off. Bar none, that's the most important thing you can do all the time. I got 4 dogs at the house because I'm an idiot, and that filter's clogged up like, yeah, within 2 weeks it's clogged up with dog hair and everything else. But we love them. Also, a good thing to do is you could buy an infrared gun, like an infrared temperature sensor from Lowe's or Amazon or wherever you get it. They're about $20. And usually what I instruct my technicians to do on any call anyway is, if the customer is comfortable with us going throughout the house, is to check the temperature on each vent. They should be within a couple degrees of each other. If you have a vent, say you're putting out 98 degrees in one vent and you go to another one that's only putting out 74, well, there's a good chance that you got a break in your ductwork somewhere. So that's an easy place or an easy way to know that, hey, I'm losing a lot of air going into a place that I don't want it, under the house or in the attic.
And one thing that happens all too often this time of year, all of a sudden the house is cold, there's an ice storm, and the heat pumps are being bogged down. What goes on?
Yeah, well, we had a lot of calls from that just this past week. And, I mean, you can't stop God. So when we get ice storms and stuff like that with the freezing rain, basically what it does is it encapsulates the top of the unit while it's not running with ice. Now, once that barrier's up on there, this heat pump can't move the air through the coils and out of it anymore. So it freezes it up extremely fast, to the point where the defrost cycle can't keep up with it anymore. And eventually you get a big block of ice out there. Now, it'll look like a big deal, but if you know you just had some harsh weather right before that happened, chances are just put your thermostat on emergency heat, let it run like that through the afternoon till you go outside and you see, hey, this is cleared off, I can go ahead and turn the heat pump back on. If it doesn't come back on, the easiest thing to do is to reset the breakers, put them back on, and everything should come back to normal operations. If it doesn't, then by all means, give us a call. We'll investigate it further and see what's going on.
Absolutely. Well, I know you also like to answer people's questions as those questions come up, and you had one man whose unit started making a lot of noise all of a sudden. What did you tell him?
Yeah, so off the clip, I can hear it, and without being present on the site and really investigating what's going on, what it sounds to me is like a normal defrost cycle for the most part. During that defrost cycle, you'll hear a big swish come off the unit. It sounds like a lot of noise, and a lot of people think, especially now with the higher end units, that it's doing it more often than it was. Well, it's because we have demand defrost on new units now. To where when it doesn't need to be in defrost cycle, it doesn't go into it, but when it's cold weather like it is now, it goes into it more often. So you'll hear that noise more often in the cold months. But to answer the question on there, what it sounded like to me was a normal defrost cycle, except I heard a grinding on the compressor. That was a little more abnormal. Usually what that means is 2 things. One, wear and tear on the unit, just from age. The also kind of indicates an airflow issue to me. So it could be as simple as a clogged up filter, and by that clogged up filter, like I said, airflow is key to everything. That clogged up filter is raising the head pressure, or could be raising the head pressure up to the point where it goes into defrost and switches it over to cooling cycle. The compressor is overloaded with pressure, and it starts grinding on it. So like I said, that some of the simplest things that we neglect put the biggest degradation on the unit that we could never imagine.
Well, in any situation, we can count on you to know what's going on and do the work right. For anybody who doesn't know about American Veteran AC, give us the overview and tell us what it's like to work with your company.
Well, we are primarily a veteran company. Over 50% of our company is veterans, myself included. And I know I say that a lot. It's kind of bragging rights, but it's not at the same time, because I feel like we earn that. And with the company itself, I'd like to say Daddy finally raised me right. You know, it took a lot of beating in my head that you are worth only what your word is worth. So going through life, that's finally what I got through my head is if you can't match up to your word, you ain't worth nothing. So that goes into the company as well. And everybody in my company knows that they carry my word with me and they know what that means to me. So if they can't carry that with integrity, they don't work here quickly. So I want to make sure that that goes through to our customers as well. And I know every company out there preaches the same thing. Hey, we're an honest company, we're this, we're that, and everything else. Well, really the only way to do it is to prove it. So that's all I really ask for anybody that's watching or anybody that's has association with us, is the opportunity to prove the values and the integrity and the initiative that this company has and that they have to offer to your front doorsteps.
Well, I know you've proven yourself to all these customers so far, and anybody else who wants to give you a try can contact American Veteran AC at the number on screen, 435-0822, or visit the website, AmericanVeteranAC.com. Sean McGraw, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you. Take care.